All right, so we continue with the mathematics of how to compute the investment. No? So make it simple lang muna para to make us more interested and more adept with the interest mechanism. So let's start with like for example, we have 100,000 principal, no? And then we put the interest rate at 10%. Okay? And then the term of years is gawin lang natin siyang 5 years, no? Para sakto dito sa baba. No? So we say 5 years, meaning it will earn interest for the next 5 years. So when you compute for future value, of course, there's a mathematical formula for that. So we have principal multiplied by 1 plus I, diba? So 1 plus the interest rate. Or you can just compute 1.10, right? But we make it like this so that if you want to change the interest rate later on, you will see how it differs, right? And then you raise it. So 1 plus I raised to raised to t, right? So raised to t. So raised to the number of years. Now this is important because later on you will see that sometimes the interest compounding is not per annum. But I don't want to complicate it yet. No? So let's make it per annum. So it ended with 161,051 pesos. So that's about 60%, right? 61% in the next 5 years. But this is future value. This is what it amounts at the end of the 5 years, right? So we'll get back to that. Now, in order to prove that it's really correct, so we can compute for the principal, right? So just copy the principal, and then the interest rate. Remember, it's per annum, so per year, right? And then interest earned for the year would be 100 multiplied by 10%, right? So you earn 10,000 the first year. So at the end of the year, you have 100,000 plus 10,000, right? And now you pick up, okay, the previous year, and then again you have 10% per annum for that year. Again, since you did not remove any principal or anything like that, so the interest earned, oh sorry, the interest earned would be a little bigger. So since it's 110,000, the interest earned is no longer 10,000, it becomes 11,000. So the end of year would be 121,000. And then if you continue like this for the next 5 years, so we will have the first, the second. So end of year one, end of the year, which is end of end of the year means this is end this is the first year, right? So since we start with zero, so this is beginning, so zero, this is end year, so year one, and then we have year two, right? Year two meaning end of year of second year, year three, and then year four, and then year five. Okay, so I'll just upload the Excel file so that you can also uh, create your own. So we will have, if you copy that, same as before, so we will have the same value as a future value. So you can even change, if you want to change the principal, we get like 250,000, it amounts to the same thing, right? Even if you change the interest rate, of course, if you change the interest rate above, you must change the interest rate below, right? So this is per annum, so you will have to change the interest rate, uh, in the same way again. So now, if we want to get the present value, remember it's 250,000 of being awarded 12% in the term of 5 years. So by the end of the 5 years, you will have 440,000, right? Future value. But then if we apply interest rate, so parang what is the present value of something that you get 5 years from now? Okay. Mahirap pa intindihin yun. So, di ba, 250,000 ngayon, in-award mo ng interest 12% for the next 5 years. And then, sa end of 5 years, 440,000 siya. Ngayon, ano ang value niya today? Of course, pag ganun lang tao, sabihin mo siguro, di 250,000. No, it's not like that. Kasi remember that you stand to earn interest rate. Diba? So it's not 250,000 kasi 250,000 is the zero rate. It's the original principal. Wala kang in-award na interest rate niya. So parang ganun yung idea ng future value and present value. So future value, we go from, di ba, yung interest rate niya pa-forward, while the present value is pa-backward naman. So di ba dito, if you will look at the formula, hindi kita yung formula. So but here is a formula, right? Which is principal multiplied by 1 plus I, which is yung 1 plus interest rate, raised to the term. So 5 years, right? So that is a forward value. Now, if you want to make it like a backward value, what differs is the exponent becomes negative. Bakit negative? Kasi imbis na po forward, pa-backward siya. Okay? So, paano ngayon yun? So, since we forwarded it for 5 years, then we will have to do a backward approach for 5 years. So, what will happen? So, ito yung 440,000, di ba? You'll raise it to, again, 1 plus I. Multiplied by 1 plus I, but now this time, we will assign a value for the discounting rate. It cannot be 12% kasi yun yung interest earned. No, it has to be something else. So usually dito, ang ginagamit natin dito is inflation rate. Now, if you don't have the inflation rate, usually kasi, di ba, the inflation rate is the the bellwether of hurdle rate. Sometimes the hurdle rate that is used is the risk-free rate ng treasury bonds. So let's say we put that as our hurdle rate. So yun yung ating gustong gawing discounting value. So it should be 5%, di ba? So lalagay tayo ng interest rate muna dito, right? So interest rate for the backward. So this will now be interest RFR, so risk-free rate. O pwede rin hurdle rate guys. So gusto nating gawin ganito, no, para malaman natin anong value niya today. So let's say interest rate, as we said, is 5%. So meaning kailangan mo siyang pabalikin 5% backward. So 440, the future value multiplied by 1 plus I, which is 1 plus 0.05, pero raised to a negative value. Bakit negative? Kasi pabalik nga eh. So negative 5. And then equal. So now, kung napapansin nyo, 345,210.21. Yun ang kanyang value ngayon. 5%. Okay? So, di ba? So, may isa pang way dito, no? Kasi pag tinignan mo tong formula natin, 1 plus I raised to the negative value. Actually, it's also the same as saying, 440,000, imbis na multiply, divide. Kasi, remember, ang inverse sa mathematics, ang inverse ng exponent na nasa taas, pag napunta sa baba, naging divide, di ba? Ganun lang naman yun eh. Pag nasa taas siya, nasa numerator siya positive, pag pumunta siya sa baba, di ba? Negative siya, pero pag pumunta siya sa baba, naging positive. Parang ganun. So, rule of exponent, sana naalala nyo pa, no? So, ang mangyayari dyan, it's the same as saying yung future value divided by, hindi na mo multiply, divided by 1 plus I pa rin, 1 plus I raised to a positive value. So, whatever that is, no? So, in this case, 5 years. So, pareho lang yon supposed to be. Ayun. So, pareho lang dapat siya. So, paano mo ito mapoprove naman po? Ayan. So, gagawin din natin yung ganito, no? So, end of year pa rin tayo. Titinan natin yan kung ganyan nga ba ang value niya. No? So, paano natin to, no? Ang principal natin naman ngayon dito is 345,000. And then, so you will award 5%, right? So, interest earned will be 5%. end of the year. So, gawin natin itong 5%, 5%, 5%. Okay? Teka, papalaking natin ito kasi hindi na siya nakikita. Alright. So, kung mapansin ninyo, guys, bumalik siya sa 440,585, which is the same as the future value. Diba? So, it proves now that this is correct. So, yun po. So, you can make use of this Excel file to know the future value and then, turn it back. Yun yung value niyan. So, kumbaga, anong ibig sabihin nito, guys? Ang ibig sabihin nito, yung 250,000 na principal ngayon, okay? Pag nag-award ako ng 12% niyan for 5 years, ang future value niya 440,000, 585.42. Ngayon, kung gusto kong kunin ang present value niyan, nitong future value na 440, it's the same as giving me 345,210 in cash. Hindi 250. Diba? Parang kumita ng 100,000. Well, in bis na, di ba? Dito kung tutusin, ilan ang interest earned mo dito. So, pag kinuha mo natin yung interest earned dito, the interest earned would be, yes, this one. Diba? Ang interest earned would be 190, sorry, wala tayo sa alignment. So, the interest earned would be 190,585.42. Now, the difference between 440 and 345 would be, actually, ito yung magiging discounting. 95,000 lang. Right? So, imbis na bayaran mo kita ng 190,000 total for 5 years, I can, the value now is, okay, ipapackage ko to, no? Gagawin ko tong investment. It's like saying, okay, 250,000, tapos mag-earn siya ng 12% per annum, I will give you 345,210.21 today. The same yun. Considering that 12% yung interest niya per annum, magbabayad talaga siya ng interest rate, mabibigay sa iyo yung principal at the end of the 5 years, and considering also that the risk-free rate, and in this case, this is the hurdle rate, this is your discounting rate, and this is also your parang inflation rate na parang ito yung pambalik mo ng 5%. Sana maintindihan nyo guys yung difference ng yung forward rate, which is 12%, at saka yung risk-free rate na 5%. If you have any concern or nahihirapan kang intindihin, sir, ano ibig sabihin ng bakit magkaiba yan, 12 saka 5? Ba't hindi pareho? Diba? Yung forward is binabayaran nung tao dun sa principal, no, or institution sa principal, diba? Itong interest rate is kumbaga yung magiging value niya sa ngayon. Kasi 400, di ba sabi natin, ang isa sa mga mantra natin, isa sa mga principles ng theory of interest is that yung value ng pera na nakuha mo next year, o in this case nga 5 years from now pa is definitely lesser than what it is today. Diba? I mean, compared to having it today. Kaya yung 440 sa 5 years, actually 345 lang yan sa ngayon at 5% inflation rate. Sir, paano kung nagbago inflation rate? Yun ang nangyayari, kaya nga ina-adjust po yan. Ina-adjust yung inflation rate. Usually, tinitingnan yan on the average. Kaya nga may risk dito involved. And ang bangko, the way banks compute that, is itong 12% na to, yan ang nagmamatter ngayon, itong interest earned niya. So halimbawa, dito sa transaction na to, nalugi siya or something, no? Nakapagbigay siya ng malaking interest, tapos tumaas ang inflation rate. Saan niya babawiin yan? Sa iba. Sa iba niya babawiin yun. Kasi malaki yung portfolio ng bangko. Marami siyang pwedeng pautangin, di ba? So pwedeng isang loan niya, imbis na 12%, gagawin yung 14% or 15%. Di ba? So in the end, halos equal lang. Di ba? Kikita pa rin yung bangko. Okay? Ito yung difference ng interest. Yan. So ito, pwede nyo itong paglaruan later on, no? Kung gusto nyo itong malaman na yung iba nga dito, pinoproduce to for the next, halimbawa, gagawin niya itong 10 years, di ba? Para malaman mo. So yun, gapalitan nyo lang to, gagawin nyo itong 10 years para malaman yung future value. Yan, di ba? So, I hope that this will be helpful for you and the theory of interest. So, yun ha. So, itong interest earned na to, per annum. Teka, maglalagay lang ako dito per annum. Per annum. Usually naman itong pinakasikat, no? Yung per annum. Sometimes hindi per annum. Paano kung per quarter ang bayad ng interest rate? So, paano ginagawa ng bangko doon? No? So, or ng investment house. So, I'll just copy all of this and then I'll put it in this next slide. This next next worksheet. And now this time, gawin natin siyang per quarter. So, kung per annum niya 12%, no? Pwede kasing 12% per annum pero compounded quarterly. Okay? Paano 'yun? Pag compounded quarterly, no? Ang ibig sabihin, yung 12% mo for the whole year 'yan eh. Kung compound quarterly dapat 4 divided by 4, 'di ba? So it's like saying for ease of computation, parang sinasabi na lang niya na okay, 12% divided by 4, 3% per quarter. Banker's rule. So mabilis lang niyang computin yun that way. Kasi hindi na sila nagma-mathematics dyan eh. Actually sa theory of interest, hindi ganun eh. Supposed to be nagko-compute ka pa niyan para equal eh. Pero syempre, pag ganun ang ginawa mo, magkakaroon ka ng difference of value, right? So simplistically, di ba? Kung 12% per annum, compounded quarterly, ang term mo 5 years, di ba? Ang mangyayari ngayon dito would be, yung 5 years, imumultiply mo yan by 20. By 4, sorry. By 4. Kasi compounded quarterly, di ba? Ang quarterly, ang value niyan 4. So you multiply 5 by 4. So 20. Actually, hindi siya 20 years. 20 terms. Parang gano'n. 20 yung N. Okay? So pag nag-multiply ka ngayon yung future value mo dito, it will now be, kukumpit ka, ano na rin natin, kukumpit na lang natin yung formula. Kukumpit natin yung formula. So the formula would be B6. So in this case, B4, which is the principal, B4, okay? The principal, multiplied now by the interest rate pero per quarter. So, yung C6 niya has to be there, no? So, ito ngayon 3%. Teka. And then raised to D6. So, tingnan natin. Of course, ang value nito. So, this will now be 12% divided by 4. Diba? So, which is 3%. Okay? 3%. Compounded quarterly kasi, di ba? Pero 12% per annum pa rin yan. Compounded quarterly means 3% siya. So, ganyan ang nangyari sa kanya ngayon, guys. So, 3% siya kasi compounded quarterly, pero raise siya to 20 imbis na 5. So, kung mapapansin nyo, tingnan yung difference. Mas malaki yung future value niya, right? Kasi nga nagko-compound siya every quarter. Co-compound means lumalaki siya every quarter. So, how do I prove it here? Mas mahaba lang ng konti. So, lalagyan natin to hanggang 20, 8, 9. So, bear with me as I compute it. 16, 17, 18. So, now it will be up to 20. Kasi 20, terms. Yung term niya, no? N. Okay? So, this will be, itong unang to would be the first year, right? 4 siya, yun ba? And then the second year is this one. So, lagay lang natin, no? 4 kasi na compounding yan, di ba? So, this is the first year. Okay. Now, this is the second year. 4 lang, 4 lagi siya. So, iba-ibay na lang natin yung kulay para hindi tayo malito, no? Now, this is the third year. Okay. And now this is the fourth year. And then lastly, yung fifth year. Actually, hanggang 19 lang tayo dito kasi supposed to be the last year carries forward, diba? So, anyway, makikita naman natin yan. Okay, so tingnan natin kung magtatali nga tayo. So, yung siyempre, imbes na 12%, magiging 3% na lang yan. And of course, it carries downwards to 3. Ito, magiging 3% na rin yan. 3%, right? So, 3% din. Okay? 3%. 3%. Okay? So we carry the formula here. Okay, so tingnan natin. Of course, nag-i-earn siya ng interest. Teka, ngayon hindi na to year 1, no? So this will now be, yung una is quarter 1 of year 1, di ba? Year 1, quarter 1. Right? Year 1, quarter 2. Okay, tandaan natin yan, no? Kasi tatlong quarter yan. Apat pala, sorry. Year 1, quarter 4. And so on, ha? Year 2 naman to. The same thing as we have here. Okay, ito year 3, year 4. Now this is year 5. So, di ko natutuloy yung mga quarter 1. Alam nyo na yan, no? So now, siyempre, this will carry forward again. And same thing, 15 times 16. Kasi ayaw natin magbago yung kulay, no? Ano tayo? Oops. Minsan nagkakaroon to ng tawag na to, ng round of error, no? Kasi hindi naman tayo nagra-round off dito. Pero sa tunay na buhay, pag ganyan, magra-round off kayo, di ba? Okay. So, pick upin na naman natin yung 256. And then, mag-i-earn na naman siya ng 3%. Then, add na naman natin yan. Okay. Ayun na naman siya. Ayaw na naman niyang mag-round off. So, babago-baguhin nyo na lang yan, guys. Mag-pay nyo sa lahat ng green. So, supposed to be magpo-451 to, no? So, malapit na tayo makarating do sa dulo. And again, kung wala tayong mga kulay-kulay dito, madali lang to, no? Kasi copy lang yan. We're just trying to prove it like as it is. Okay? So you will see 451, 527, 81. 451, 527, 81. So we're correct. Right? So ganun lang po ang pagano. So ito po, ang tawag dito ay, guys, no? Ang ginawa natin dito, yung kanina per annum, no? Ito, compounded quarterly. Compounded quarterly. Pero ang interest rate po, Sir George, per annum pa rin ang compute. No? Laging per annum ang basihan ng bangko dyan. Or whatever. So, i-compare mo siya with the future value ng straight na 12 to 5 years. Mas malaki siya ng konti. No? Tingnan natin kung simplistically ganito lang, no? Divide mo lang yung dalawang yan. So yan ang difference niya, 2%. Minus 1 mo lang, no? The difference is about 2% from the original. 2.50%. 2.5. Sorry. Ang hirap nang hindi tayo naka-excel, eh, no? Ayan. 2.5% ang difference niya with 440. So again, pag babalik mo na naman to, and magkano po yan ngayon? Di ba? Ganoon naman yung tanong natin, eh. Magkano po yan ngayon? So syempre, 1 plus G4 divided by, hindi na to ngayon ang mangyayari dito. No? So dito na tayo syempre sa 451. So it now becomes E6. Alright? So yung ating dating value is E4. So E6 na tayo ngayon. So the current value will now be 353,000. Kanina the value was, balikan natin. No? Kanina ang value ay 345. Ngayon 353 siya. So 353 divided by 345. Let's see how much it changed. So it changed by the same, no? 2.48%. Same, syempre. No? Magma-minus 1 pa tayo dito. Kaya malalabas talaga yung tunay na value. Yung tunay na interest. So this will become 2.48%. Okay? So the same as what we have here. Kaya 2.5%. Yun po. So, syempre, magbabago-bago na lang yan kung ang ating idea dito is babaguhin natin tong interest-free rate. No? Kung ang RFR natin ay 4.5% imbis na 5. So, yun. 4.5%. Diba? Bigyan lang natin ng interest ng decimal point. So may kita mo, 362 siya ngayon. 362 divided by 345. So tumaas siya 5%. Kasi ang interest-free rate mo bumaba eh. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Pag ang inflation rate mas mababa, edi mas malaki yung inaangat mo. Dahil pag pine-present value mo yun, it will now be better, a little better from your side. No? Of course, yan yan. So ang tawag dito ay PV or present value. Ayan. Okay? So that's it for today. Just review this, no? And I'll give you the Excel file later on. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye.